Welcome back to the Battle Camp. So this is a video I've been wanting to make for fucking years. No, that's actually a lie because I've only been making videos for a couple of weeks, but I've been wanting to tweet about this, let's just say, for fucking years. Literally for like, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. I don't know. Um, but it seems that Bellator have signed a TV deal to show their fights live here in the UK, and that deal is with Sky Sports. So this is massive news for UK MMA fans. Um, so the rumours are still swirling. There's no official confirmation about this deal. So there's not really much detail out there. The only things that I can say is earlier on today I saw a tweet from the legend that is Gareth A. Davis, and he said that an agreement has been made. Bellator and Sky have come to an agreement, and if you look at your program planners, you'll see Bellator, the fight between Paul Daly and Michael Venom Page will be broadcast live on February 16th stroke February 17th, because it'll be at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It'll be broadcast live on Sky Sports. So I was like, and I went online and I had a look at the TV guide for Sky Sports, and he wasn't lying, it was there. And then, not so long ago, let's have a look, because I was just on Twitter when I saw this. 2 hours ago, Scott Coker tweeted a GIF of the Sky. So you ain't got to be Sherlock Holmes and Watson to work this bad boy out. So Sky and Bellator have come to an agreement, and also earlier on in the week, actually. So I think this was during the Paul Daly and Michael Venom Page press conference that they had in London earlier on this week. They also announced a deal with Channel 5 to show the European cards that they're going to be putting on. So it looks like from a European standpoint, we're kind of fully covered in terms of watching these fights live. And now the most anticipated fight for UK fans that Bellator are going to put on, Paul Daly against Michael Venom Page. It was disappointing that this fight went to the States, and I understand why, because this welterweight deal is kind of exclusive to DAZN. So for them to kind of get as much benefit from this deal as possible, and I'm talking about DAZN here, they wanted it to be in America, so the fight would be on at a time where DAZN customers would enjoy that content the most. It wouldn't be, kind of 2 p.m. in the afternoon or 1 p.m. or whatever. It'll be prime time for them, even though DAZN is a non-linear platform. So going back to Bellator, the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is this just a one-off deal for this fight? Because Bellator know it's a big deal for UK MMA fans. Have they just approached Sky Sports and said, look, we've got this fight, it's a big kind of deal, you can have it for free almost? And this has actually happened before in the past, because it happened with the UFC. There was actually, I remember years ago, there was a fight that UFC put on, and it was before they signed a deal with BT, and it was after ESPN had kind of folded or whatever, not folded, but kind of been taken over, or whatever happened between ESPN and BT. But there was this one pay-per-view, or this one fight, that it might have been the first ever Fox card, actually. It may well have been the first ever Fox card, because maybe at that point there wasn't a deal in place between BT Sport or Setanta or ESPN or whoever was broadcasting UFC over here in the UK at the time. And then UFC made a deal with some obscure sports channel to air that fight live across kind of all platforms. So if you didn't have to have a subscription for that channel, they just had it there for free for us to enjoy. And I have a feeling it might have been the first ever Fox card, but I can't remember. But there was one UFC that wasn't on Setanta, ESPN or BT, and it was because of this, because of they knew it would be a big deal for us in the UK, so they managed to get it done. And I'm just a little bit concerned this might be the case here. Like, they've managed to strike a one fight deal That's not a very good long-term solution for us fans over here in the UK, because what we've been getting so far is these cards being shown either a week later, a week after they actually happened, or in the best case scenario, that they show it kind of 24 hours later. So on the Sunday evening, when we know what's happened, we've seen all the gifs of all the finishes and stuff on Twitter. So it's a bit of a lackluster kind of experience for us over here in the UK. So this is definitely a positive, just for this fight. So Bellator 216. I'm not really sure who else is on the card, because all I've really cared about is Michael Venom Page and Paul Daly. But now I know that this is going to be live in the UK. Oh look, so I'm just checking out Czech Congo vs Vitaly Minakov, Krokop vs Roy Nelson, which is actually quite quite a funny one, because when Bellator came to London last year, kind of May last year, I think it was, this fight was meant to be on that card, and then Krokop went and got himself injured, which was very disappointing for me, because I was there, and that was one of the main reasons I bought a ticket for that event, just to see Krokop live, because I've never seen him fight live before, and I'm a big fan. Anyway, that's nothing to do with this video. So going back to this TV deal, so very positive for us over here in the UK. There's no details on in terms of how the length of the agreement. Let's hope it's not just a single fight. Let's hope they've signed a long-term deal. Another interesting thing to note, the head sports guy at Sky Sports, so the head of Sky Sports, I believe his title is Barney Francis. I can't remember who or where it was, but someone asked him, and I remember seeing this, either reading it or watching it on YouTube. Someone asked him about the potential of UFC, the rights for UFC being bought by Sky Sports. And this was around the time before BT ever won the rights for the UFC. And so this is going back a few years, and they asked Barney Francis about whether Sky would be interested in winning the rights to air UFC events, and he said he had no interest in mixed martial arts, which I found kind of strange, because they had shown Cage Rage and other kind of UK MMA shows on Sky Sports before. So I don't know. It felt like he was a little bit old school, saying that he wasn't a fan of MMA and he wouldn't want to air that on his TV network or his TV channels, because it's not his network, is it? But they were showing MMA anyway, so that was a bit of a weird one. Maybe it was just a money thing, and he didn't think that what the UFC wanted in terms of a payment for the rights to air their shows was value for money. Who knows? I don't know. But now that the Sky Sports have kind of purchased the rights for the second biggest MMA organization in the world, does that mean they would potentially be interested in giving BT a run for their money when BT's current deal with the UFC expires? So that's worth thinking about, because from what I understand, BT's current deal with the UFC is for 1 year, and the rumor was before UFC re-signed with BT, or BT re-signed with the UFC at the beginning of this year, the rumor was that the Bellator was going over to BT Sports. So the reason why I'm saying all of this now is this deal could have repercussions for what happens in the future with MMA and how it's shown here in the UK. So that's just something worth thinking about as well. But in the short term, I think our main concern needs to be, let's just be happy that we're going to be able to have Bellator 216 shown live over here in the UK, so we ain't got to try and find a dodgy stream, and we can watch it on the television. So that's a very good positive. And another thing to think about is the length of this deal. Does this mean that all American shows will be shown live on Sky Sports? Because that would be the best case scenario. And if this is just a one-off deal, Bellator still need to pull their fucking finger out and sort this shit out, because it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But let's not worry about what might be just yet. Let's just be happy that we've got Bellator 216 live here in the UK on Sky Sports. Oh, actually, before I go, I've just remembered that Bellator 215 is taking place the day before. So this is a card with Matt Mitrone and Sergei Karatonov. So I'd assume if they've made a deal to show all events, then this would also be shown live on Sky Sports, but I couldn't see it on the TV schedule. So that kind of gives me an indication that this may well just be a one-off deal. Or maybe they wanted to start this deal with a big fight for UK fans. Who knows? But yeah, 215 Mitrone Karatonov is the day before. To be fair, the card underneath that is nothing to write home about. So 216 is definitely the better card. Although the main event is very interesting. Obviously, Mitrone vs Karatonov. Whew, that's kind of put a little bit of doubt in my head. But I just gave you guys this advice, and I'm gonna take it. And let's not worry about the length of the deal. Let's not worry about all of the other stuff. Let's just be happy that we've got 216 live in the UK for us to watch on TV. But yeah, I'm a little bit, tiny bit. Even though I'm really happy, I'm really just a tiny bit concerned that 215 isn't live here in the UK. But I'm just speculating right now. It's fucking nearly 1:30 in the morning, and we'll just wait for the actual deal to be announced, and we'll have all the details that we need. Anyway, let me know what you guys think below. Share your comments, share your thoughts. Please like this video or dislike it if you think it was a load of shite. But just engage. I really appreciate it. And also subscribe. That's one thing that I would really like you guys to do. So please subscribe and share this with your mates if they like MMA. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers, guys.